Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on a Smith machine, but my Maxwell and I ain't.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. So, Smackdown, September the 11th, 2022. Let's get into it. There's no real news and notes to speak of that I have seen thus far. So, we got to get right into Smackdown. It was a good one. They made up for Raw here. Triple H, I'm still on the cusp, but this is going to be very interesting. This is a very interesting, very notable episode of SmackDown. So let's talk about it. Match 1. For the greatest tag team of all time, for the Unified Tag Team Championships, it was the Usos versus the New Day. They actually started the show. The crowd was chanting for Sammy at most parts during the match. But of course, the match itself ended up getting over eventually. A hell of a match between these two teams. A lot of their usual finishers didn't really work. What happened, they would usually break up a pin. Like they nailed the Midnight Hour, but it was broken up. I think the Trouble in Paradise, not Trouble in Paradise, but the SOS was broken up. The finish came from a one and done, where basically the Usos caught Kofi Kingston jumping off the top rope. It was basically just a flying RKO. It was kind of sloppy-ish on the finish, but the match itself was really good. The Usos win, and with no championship matches between now and Monday, they will break the record on Sunday nights, I believe. 482 days or something like that. The record, it was meaningful. It added another element to this match that I think it really needed in order to justify another Usos New Day match. I enjoyed the match. They have good chemistry, great chemistry between these two teams. It started out a little slow, but man, they really got cooking in there, and they did a great job. So the Usos will, by Monday, be the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. Is that a significant statistic to you? 480 some odd days. It's a long time to be a champion because it's over a year, especially in the modern era. In the modern era, being champions for a year is usually enough to get some people to be ready to see you get pulled. And the Usos, thankfully, because of the Bloodline storyline, that year blew by. Like I didn't even remember it was a year until, they was talking about breaking the record. And I was like, wow, have they been champions a year yet? I didn't know what the hell the record really was. But in modern day, yeah, this is a pretty significant statistic. And it's good for the Usos, man. They have been around for so long. It's been over 10 years. They should have been considered one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, maybe even of all time. But for some reason, they were never in the conversation. And now maybe they can get in that conversation. I guess it depends on your perspective. But I really enjoy the Usos, their matches, and everything that they do, their persona and everything. Especially since they started doing the Uso Penitentiary stuff. It's been next level. Of course, the Bloodline is tremendous. So, to me, this was a well-earned accomplishment for the Usos. I definitely think they deserve to be the longest reigning tag team champions, much longer than the New Day. The New Day was doing this Freebird rule where there was 3 of them, so there was different incarnations of the New Day defending the titles. For it just being these 2 Usos, which makes it a lot more impressive in my book. So again, you're begging the question, now that the Usos have broken the record, once they lose these belts, what do you do with them? Because they can't go higher than they've already gone. They've already been multiple time tag team champions. Now they're the longest reigning tag team champions in history. You got to start asking the question, are you putting these guys in a corner where now it's like, Okay, now what? Like, what do we do now? I think the conversation needs to start about breaking them up and putting them on separate brands. I think this might have been the second time I said that this week, but I think it might be time to do that. All right, phenomenal match. Roman Reigns backstage says that this is the promised land. This is what being the GOAT feels like. But then said he still has some stuff to handle tonight. So Roman Reigns goes to the ring. Paul Heyman, of course, riffs on Indianapolis and says that the New Day has been cast into obscurity. Roman said that it must be tough being his cousins because people have always acknowledged him. And then he was going to acknowledge Jimmy and Jay when the Brawling Brutes interrupted, this being Butch and Ridge Holland. They said that they were tired of the numbers game, and this time they came with backup, and the backup was in the form of old Sheamus. So, oi, hey Roman Reigns, picture me. Did you see me little promo? The little microphone don't work. The little microphone don't. Microphone don't. Microphone kept going off. The microphone went full AEW for a minute. Boy, it felt like Sheamus might have actually had something to say, and then it cut out on him. So he tried to save it. Roman, of course, riffed him, saying that Sheamus is good for nothing. He can't even get the microphone to work. And then they just got into the ring and they got into a fight. So it was 3-on-5. The Brawling Brutes started getting beat up when Drew McIntyre ran to the ring to make the save. He squared up with Solo Sikoa before getting knocked down by Roman. This was all very good. Good brawl to end the show. So now we know that the Brawling Brutes will have a +1 with Drew McIntyre. And they're still short one, though. They're still short one in order for it to be a full 5-on-5. But this is a good team that they're going to be going up against here, man. I like this. I like this squad. I really would prefer it if we had some kind of contender for Roman to wrestle at the Royal Rumble or something like that. And maybe that's who will be the fifth person. Because I've been racking my brain trying to figure out who this fifth person could be. And I really can't. I don't think anybody fits the motif of people who have been feuding with the Bloodline lately. I mean, they've been feuding pretty much everybody. So I guess it'd probably be Riddle, Oh, God, that would not be good. Riddle and on teams with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Oh, man. But that might end up being who it is. That's the unfortunate shit right there. Is that it might end up being Riddle being the fifth guy on the team. Only because Riddle is not serious. And you would think that a situation where they're going to be surrounded by steel and all that kind of stuff, you would want a more serious Riddle. But then again, he was kind of serious in his feud with Seth Rollins, so maybe that is what we get. So here's hoping for the best. But I'm going to guess that the fifth guy is going to be Riddle. That's going to be my guess. So, all right, the World Cup, an 8-man tournament. The winner will face the Intercontinental Champion in, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks. So match 1 of the World Cup, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Santos Escobar. Solid match, really fun match. Both of these guys needed to win, but they gave the win to Santos Escobar with the Phantom Driver from the second rope. Santos Escobar before the match said that he's not only representing Mexico, he's also going to show Shinsuke how they deal with, quote, reckless people. During the match, Wade Barrett mentioned that they had a match at CMLL 15 years ago. Come on. Interestingly enough, Michael Cole kind of downplays that by saying that because the match was so long ago, you might not be able to actually learn anything from those results, which I was kind of like, my point is Vince and Kevin Dunn's point when they say nobody cares about that shit because you talking about the match and then didn't tell us who won the match. It was kind of foolish because it's like, okay, they wrestled before a long time ago. For starters, you're giving away both of the men's ages. They're about the same age. I think they're both in like their late 30s. I think Shin might actually be in his 40s. But you make the guy sound old when you talk about how they've been in the business for 15 years already. Crickety Christ's sake, you can't be a young guy and have 15 years of experience. That doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Unless you was wrestling as a teenager, which, some people actually were. But interestingly enough, to continue down this point, Wade Barrett said that Santos Escobar is half Tony Montana, half Don Quixote. I don't know why he would say that. I don't know why he said that, but there we go. Don Quixote. Sure. Whatever. The second World Cup first round match was Jinder Mahal versus Braun Strowman. Jinder Mahal is back. People continue to hinder the Jinder. He is back. Put up a decent fight against Braun Strowman. The match wasn't very long, thankfully. Strowman wins with a powerbomb. Jinder Mahal cut a promo before the match, saying that he was the greatest WWE champion of all time. Now that he's returned, no man can stop him. And of course, he gets powerbombed for his trouble. Braun Strowman, I think, is likely to get disqualified or counted out or something like that to get out of this tournament. I don't see him taking a pin. I wouldn't give him a pin. Having him eat a pin wouldn't make any sense. So it would have to be some kind of disqualification, count out kind of thing in order to get him out of this tournament. So Ricochet is in the tournament. He will be wrestling Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, who is from Chicago, but will be representing Pakistan in the tournament. He's going to be representing Pakistan. Look, I know WWE, you're not supposed to know everything. You're not supposed to know all these things, right? But Jinder Mahal is really from Canada, right? So he represented India in the tournament, but he's really Canadian. It fits his gimmick, because I guess the gimmick is Indian. Okay, modern day Maharaja, the gimmick is Indian. But Mustafa Ali's gimmick is not Pakistani. It's not. So him representing Pakistan it's like they said to themselves, we don't know who else we could put in this tournament. So we're just going to go with Mustafa Ali. Sprinkle the good match fairy in the ring because they want to have Mustafa Ali and Ricochet, do all the flippity doodads and all that kind of stuff. Fine. But maybe how about, you got plenty of other guys who are from other countries that you probably could have used in this tournament. But whatever. Mustafa Ali representing Pakistan, which is, I'm guessing, a suburb of Chicago. Anyway, he said that he's trying to get back with his, which Gunther interrupted and said that he wants Ricochet to win the tournament because he would love to beat him again. Gunther is going to just maul whoever wins this tournament, right? We all agree upon this, right? That Gunther is just going to whoop the ass of whoever wins the tournament, as he should, by the way. As he should. All right, now, six-pack challenge, number one contender for the women's championship, was won by Shotzi. Shotzi pins Lacey Evans, beating the veteran on Veterans Day. How about that? You think Vince beating people in their hometown? How about beating people on their holidays? How about that? Liv Morgan had a new theme song, which was not much different from her the previous theme song, but it was different enough for me to notice. Speaking on the subject of Liv Morgan, they were building contraptions outside the ring. Sonya Deville, Raquel Rodriguez building contraptions outside the ring. They were telling a story that Sonya Deville was about to get powerbombed through a table by Raquel Rodriguez. She puts the bottom half of the steps near the table. She's going to pick up Sonya. Liv Morgan is supposed to springboard, crossbody Raquel through the table off the ring steps. That's what I'm sure somebody somewhere told them to do. What happened? Liv Morgan jumped and instead barely hit the crossbody, and then all three of them fell to the floor, with I think only Liv Morgan hitting her face on the side of the table. Liv Morgan had to be one of the most unathletic women in the history of the business. She just cannot pull off anything that involves jumping. She cannot jump. All right. White girls cannot jump. She can't jump. I think I said last week that she should not be trying to do tope suicidas because she has no spring in her legs. She just does not have it. It's not there. It ain't working. Now they gave her a springboard crossbody and she botched that, fucked that up too. Look, man, I don't hate Liv Morgan. I promise I don't. But by God, bro, let's be honest about this. Okay. You see she can't jump. Why do you keep trying to make her jump? Is this a rib? Like, does somebody look at her and say, you know what? That's a prime athlete right there. It's fine for her to be in the ring. It's fine. If she want to fall off the top rope on somebody, fine. But anything that's complicated like this, where somebody could possibly get hurt, you might want to not put Liv Morgan in this. Okay? She's going to kill somebody. She's going to kill herself. This is a suicide thing we got here with Liv Morgan. It wasn't good. Anyway, Shotzi wins with the what they call it, the never wake up DDT joint. Shotzi winning was a surprise. I'm okay with it because it's at least something different. It's somebody different. But Shotzi's likelihood of winning is nil. Is near zero. Some people have been criticizing the 6-pack challenge fatal 4-way pattern that Triple H has done with the women's division. And you know what? I fully agree with them. Trying to hide your lack of storytelling behind we're just going to do random matches and where the entire division is in one match. And then somebody from that division is going to win. And it's always somebody different. Yeah, they've done that way too many times lately. So I think it's a legitimate criticism that they continue to do the 6-pack challenge, fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way goofiness, instead of just telling a story in which a woman legitimately becomes the top contender through hard work and effort and the crowd getting behind her. Because the crowd is not going to warm up to Shotzi because she won a single match to wrestle Ronda Rousey. You know, you have to do something to get her to connect with the audience. That's the thing that's missing here. Shotzi is a good babyface, but you have to get her to connect with the audience. The connection. Which only way you can build that is through promos. Now, they tried to do this. Later in the show, Shotzi is very excited. She's with her tank. And then Emma walks up behind her. Emma throws her arms around to congratulate Shotzi. Then she promises to sort of give Shotzi some notes on how to wrestle Ronda Rousey, which is weird because Emma lost. In any event, she asked Shotzi about Madcap Moss. And she was kind of like, that's weird. And then she immediately jumped to the conclusion that, Emma has a crush on Madcap Moss, which, of course, in real life, they are dating. So I'm guessing they're going to be dating on TV, too. Whatever. At that point, Emma got the hell out of there because why wouldn't she? She got to fuck off at some point, right? Then Shayna Baszler slides on in and says that Shotzi thinks she's won a match of a lifetime. But what she's really won is a broken arm or a snapped ankle. And so Shotzi says that, she's going to endure whatever Ronda Rousey has, and anybody who's overlooking her is going to regret it. Shayna Baszler says, well, why don't you tell Ronda to her face? And so she turns around and Ronda's standing right there. Shotzi looks like she's going to say something to Ronda, and she immediately gets choked out by Shayna, which I thoroughly enjoyed. This was a great segment. I'm enjoying Ronda and Shayna together. I like this. They're bullies. I like it. It's simple. As simple as can be. It works because it's the two of them. It's fantastic. They're assholes. I like it. I like it. I enjoy it. All right, so the main event, essentially, LA Knight. LA Knight is cutting a promo. Yeah. He's cutting a promo talking about he wish, he should have been in the World Cup. Yeah. In the background, you got the Wyatt stuff. The moth keeps banging upon the Tron. LA Knight called it trash. Says that, what's going on with all this trash? He turns around to tell people to fix the Trons. He turns back around. Bray Wyatt is right there. Bray Wyatt says that he sees the rage building inside of LA Knight and that people told him that his rage would turn him into a monster. Then he says he knows what it takes to get respect. But what is LA Knight willing to do to get respect? LA Knight says that what he's willing to do is his business. And Bray Wyatt needs to get out of there, go back to his cubbyhole, his playhouse with his puppets, and, quote, stick them wherever gives you pleasure, which I died. It was hilarious, right? So he told him to stick his puppets wherever gives him pleasure. And, of course, Bray Wyatt knocked him on his ass. So this works, okay? I like this. I love this. It's random as hell because but I kind of figured whoever Bray Wyatt was going to wrestle was going to be random anyway because he hadn't had any interaction with anybody. So if he's going to do just some business with LA Knight for Survivor Series, let's just say that is just one match for Survivor Series, a one-off. It's great for LA Knight. It's great for Bray. LA Knight's going to cut promos and it's going to be really good. He already cut a promo on Bray and it was really good. Bray sees something within LA Knight, but it's not rage, I would say. I think he should go with the pride sin. LA Knight is offended. He's upset that he wasn't asked to be in the World Cup because clearly he's the best candidate, right? So I think that should have been his. But I know what we're going off of Bray's character, and Bray's character is built on rage. So that's what we're doing here. But I like this. I love it. This was great. Can't say much more positive about it other than I wonder how the match is going to turn out. I really do wonder how the match is going to turn out. But I love this. All right. They threatened us with a B-Fat match, which I was shaking in my boots. Literally, I was quaking. B-Fat versus Zelina Vega was the match that it was supposed to happen. Zelina Vega was coming out to the Legado del Fantasma theme, which I didn't really care for. I would like for her to have her own theme. B-Fab was wearing gym shoes. I was like, oh, God, this is not about to be good. This is not going to be good. I was sitting there preparing my body for the cringe. I was just kind of like, oh. But then the Viking Raiders saved us from a B-Fab match. And I was like, yes. And then I was like, no, it's the Viking Raiders. They suck too. So the Viking Raiders came out there. They beat up Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. Sarah Logan chased off Zelina Vega, who jumped over the barricade and ran away, which is, it's great heel shit. She got the hell out of there. The Viking Raiders beat the tar out of Hit Row, which includes a Ragnarok double powerbomb on Top Dollar, which was pretty impressive. Sarah Logan did a pop-up headbutt on B-Fab. What an anticlimactic move. We're going to throw you up in the air, but you're going to come down to a headbutt. Could have come down to a knee strike, a slam of some sort. I don't know. A European uppercut. To come down to a headbutt's kind of lame. Sarah Logan is back. She's going to be wrestling. Okay. She looks like Max the Impaler, though. I didn't look at Twitter. Like, I really didn't see a lot of Twitter before I started doing my reviews. So I just figured that people who know who Max the Impaler is would probably say she's kind of aping the Max the Impaler look. And it's a fact. The long dreadlocks with the black face paint, the nails, the sort of well, Max Impaler isn't barefoot, but the sort of animal skins and stuff like that. Like, it really fits Sarah Logan's character, but she just looks a lot alike Maxie Impaler. But Maxie Impaler isn't on national television, so she can get away with it. If she was on national television, it probably would be even more obvious gimmick infringement. But since she's not on national TV, who cares? You know, it is what it is. Take your L in silence. Silence. I'm not interested in the Viking Raiders. I'm not interested in the Viking Raiders no matter what you do with them. You know, so good luck trying to get me to care about the Viking Raiders. But I will say this. They did save us from that match, and I will be grateful to them for it. So on this night, I appreciate the Viking Raiders for saving us from a B-Fab match, because I'm almost certain B-Fab is not much better than she was before. All right, so that's essentially SmackDown. SmackDown was a mostly work rate show, but at least all of the work rate stuff was quality. Also, it had storyline purpose going into it with the World Cup and the tag team championship, the big tag team championship match. Nothing felt like it was a throwaway. We didn't need this. It was stupid. The interspersed promo segments were really good. They were short, but they had content to them. It furthered some characters, planted seeds for some other stories. So this SmackDown was tight. It was pretty good. I forgot to mention, and maybe I should have paid more attention to the notes part, but Natalya is going to be out for 3 months. Apparently because she really got her nose broken by Shayna Baszler. Now, on Twitter, I said that I'm probably going to have a little bit of sympathy for Natalya. A little bit. Not because her nose got broken. I mean, praise God her nose got broken. I know I shouldn't say that, but she won't be on TV for a while. So I can't do nothing but celebrate that Natalya won't be on TV. This is why I feel bad for her. WWE is now involved with a documentary on Teddy Hart and some missing young lady, and Teddy Hart and his assorted violent relationships with women or something like that. It's very strange for WWE to even be involved with this. And they've been talking about it on social media. It's going to be on Peacock. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic documentary. It looks like it's going to be great. But to do a documentary on Teddy Hart while his fucking cousins work there, that's a weird situation to put Natalya in. Like, WWE is doing a documentary hit piece on your fucking cousin. Like, what? The only hope, I guess, is that they're not close. You know, like, and the weird part is, WWE, I think at first denied that they were involved with this. And then when they started doing the promotion for it, because it's going to be coming out pretty soon, they said that they are involved. They helped produce it. And I'm just kind of like, oh my God. You know, it's very strange for WWE to even be involved with a non-WWE wrestling product. But then for it to be on a member of the Hart family, why you have members of the Hart family on the roster, I just wonder how they feel about that. Because that definitely feels like some shit that's going to come up in a shoot interview when Natalya is retired or something like that, that this is going to come up as something that's really pissed her off. Or something that it's probably going to piss her off more than the farting gimmick. You know, the fact of how fucked over her cousins have been getting. You know, Davey getting fired before he even made a debut in NXT UK. Now Teddy getting targeted by WWE in this stupid documentary. Look, I get it. NBC might have been doing a documentary anyway or whatever. But I wouldn't get it. WWE doesn't need to get into the dark side of the ring kind of stuff on other people. Not when you got Vince in the middle of investigations, and you got ring boy scandals, and you got potential embezzlement charges and all the crazy shit that Vince McMahon has been a part of. Now, none of it is as crazy. Well, the Snuka stuff probably is, but Vince ain't even really involved with that as much as people think that he's covering it up. But everything is a cover up to people who have a conspiracy mindset. It's like, it's not really a cover up. If I did a video on the Snuka stuff, I'm not going to go into it. If you want to know why it's not a cover up, go into the Dark Side of the Ring episode where I talked about Jimmy Snuka. They will tell you exactly what happened. And anybody who continues this whole Vince McMahon had a briefcase full of money and it all disappeared, it's just what they want to believe. That's a better story than the coroners couldn't find any evidence to tie Jimmy Snuka to the murder or to the death of the young lady. Therefore, nothing happened to him for 30 years. That's the case. You can't go to prison because you lied. Oh, he lied about this. You can't prove he fucking did it. But if you want the details, go listen to that. But Vince has been a part of some of the craziest shit in the business. We shouldn't be doing this to Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart's a train wreck. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending Teddy Hart. He's a piece of shit. But I did a video on how much of a piece of shit Teddy Hart was. It's in, well, just go to Teddy Hart on my channel somewhere. It's in there somewhere. He's a piece of shit for sure. He's an abusive boyfriend. He's been a part of a lot of other horse shit. But it shouldn't be WWE doing an expose on him. If other people want to do an expose on Teddy Hart, perfectly fine with that. WWE needs to just be like, we're the Disney of pro wrestling. We don't participate in that kind of shit. He was on our roster for a short amount of time. Combined, it was probably less than a year combined. I think he got fired from there twice. He didn't make TV either time. If they need some footage, all right, let them lease the footage. I'm pretty sure there's some dark match footage, but they should not be this deep into the Teddy Hart stuff. To me, that's a little weird. They certainly shouldn't be doing that. All right, so that was SmackDown, and while I feel bad for Natalya, hopefully Natalya will get well and come back fine, but hopefully she won't come back for like 5 months. We need like 5 months off from Natalya. All right. Give me the 5. If she got like John Cena healing powers, I still wanted to take another 2 months off just to be sure. All right, just to be safe, just to be on the safe side. Take another 2 months off. Like, I'm 100%. But yeah, but we would like for you to be 200%. 250. Then we'll let you come back. Till then, hopefully we won't see no Natalya anytime soon. All right. Thank y'all for your time. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.